Micah's Fishing Academy. Back. 4 types of fishing line I'm going to tell you about today. I'm going to tell you about fluorocarbon, monofilament, copolymer, and braided line. So stick around. If you've ever been to Bass Pro or a fishing store, whatever, wherever you go, and you start looking at the line, man, it can get overwhelming quickly. So maybe this can clear some stuff up. Got to talk about fluorocarbon. All purpose. It's going to be your best friend. You're going to look for 100% fluorocarbon. They got all different shapes. They got all different sizes, all different diameters, all different prices. That doesn't matter too much. Seaguar is my favorite. I know I have some Strike King here, but it's cheaper. So only about 200 yards you're getting though. Okay, so that's kind of expensive and kind of sucks. But the good part about this line, okay, not a lot of stretch. Super translucent, okay, in the water, fish barely see it. And because of that little stretch, when you rear back and you set the hook, you got them. You're going to get them. It's going to be sweet. But it's just really good line. It gets to the bottom really well. It stays in the lower half of the water column well. The best leader line you can get if you're going to put on braid. But cons is it is pricey. It just keeps getting more expensive. But I promise you're going to want some. If you're balling on a budget, can't go wrong with monofilament, okay? It floats really good. It goes great with top waters. It's really great backing if you're going to use braid. And you get like 900 yards. The last one I just showed you, only 200, 900. I think it's like $10. So if you want something to sink slow, monofilament. It's a good thing. But it has more stretch, okay? So when you set the hook, your line is going to stretch a little more, so it may not have that same pop to the fish that you want. Here we go. Copolymer. This is a combination of both the things I just showed you, okay? It is a monofilament line coated in fluorocarbon, okay? So this is sort of an in-between of those two. It floats, but not as much as monofilament, and it gets down to the water column, but not as quick as fluorocarbon. It is a little bit cheaper, not much. The good part is it's really abrasion resistant. So if you're rubbing it up against wood and stuff, because it's coated in fluorocarbon, it won't snap. And that's a good thing to kind of have. A couple things before I get into the braid that I didn't really mention is diameter is just the kind of the thickness of your line. Good rule of thumb, try and get the smallest diameter you can. So if you're going to go buy 10-pound test line, try and find the smallest diameter 10-pound test line. It just stays on your reel better. You can just put more on. And they're all super abrasion resistant, all 3 of the ones, okay? So if you're rubbing it against wood or structure or whatever you're fishing, it doesn't snap as easy as the next guy. Finally, we have braid. This is one that I don't think is very beginner friendly. I don't think that if you haven't fished much, I wouldn't suggest just tying this straight on. And here's kind of why. You need a backing for your reel before you put it on. So what means is you put on a little bit of fluorocarbon on your reel first, and then you would add braid, okay? We do that because if you don't, the drag won't work. But I know it's weird, right? Braid is really tough. Like, it is the toughest line. It has no memory like the other 3. All 3 of those, abrasion resistant, they have memory. This guy is not very abrasion resistant, but it has absolutely no memory. So when it comes out of the spool, it comes off like magic, It's okay on bait casters. I would suggest it for ones you want to throw topwater on, because when you set the hook a long ways away, this is no stretch, so it's going to pin them immediately. But sometimes it's a little much. So if you're like flipping a jig straight braid, dude, you can hammer them. But that's why I always like to put a fluorocarbon leader, unless I'm fishing a certain topwater, which I'll get all into that like later dates and time. But you need to know some of this before you use braid. But what's cool about braid, though it's expensive, I've had the same piece of braid on my spinning reel for 3 years. 3 years. Just lasts a really long time. It is the most expensive, but it lasts. Braid has really small diameter, so 15-pound braid can have the same diameter as like a 6-pound fluorocarbon. Or sorry, this is the 6-pound. But the main thing I want to tell you is that if you are going to get good with the spinning reel, like, I think you really kind of got to eventually go to braid once you kind of learn how to tie some different knots and things. But I used to hate it. Now I don't really know that I could fish with certain spinning reels without it. I hope this clears some stuff up. I don't know if I got all my thoughts out very clearly, but comment if you have any questions and I'll try and answer them. Okay, peace.